I know The Wire is a great show. I've been told that many times by people.
But you haven't. But Brian, you went to school in Baltimore. I went to school in Baltimore. I also haven't watched The Wire.
Whew.
But I tell people, I don't have to watch it. We don't have to watch it. We lived The Wire.
We lived The
Right?
Wire. I go with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember they were shooting. There'd be 2 set signs in the neighborhoods. I remember all that.
You know, the House of Cards actually shot at the Baltimore Sun
Did it?
office. It's shot in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And if you look closely, you can tell sometimes they're using Baltimore scenes. So I have binged on House of Cards.
The lake trout signs in the
At least
background.
right. So at least I watched that. And Orange is the New Black and Scandal and
Right.
National. So
So
I've
you're a
actually done a
Netflix
bunch
guy.
of binges. I've done a bunch of binges this year, just not of the right shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You started writing about TV out of your dorm room in college, a dozen pizza boxes as your desk, 30 rack of Natty Boh as your chair,
It's a beautiful,
I imagine.
beautiful image.
You slowly transitioned to becoming a media figure yourself. All of a sudden, you're a 19-year-old writing about TV, reporting on it, and now you're guest hosting CNN's Reliable Sources. Well, it started with
You
being...
think this audience knows what that is?
They're more of a GPS with Fareed
We got
Zakaria.
some claps. That's a good reference.
Zachariah?
Wow, nice reference.
Zakaria? How do you
He's
say
the
that?
best lead-in for a media show. I mean, the secret about Sunday mornings on CNN, it's really smart TV. I'm not claiming that I was smart when I was hosting, but Fareed Zakaria show is such a smart show. You're kind of amazed it's on TV. There's a few shows on TV like that. Charlie Rose. Sometimes you think, is this allowed on TV?
Right.
It's so smart.
Right.
But it doesn't get canceled. It stays on. Fareed is the same way. It gets a really big audience actually for a Sunday morning.
Is it?
I think because it's pretty smart.
How was the audience
And then they put me on and I talk about Breaking Bad without having watched it.
Yeah. How was the audience for the show over the summer on ABC? It was called Would You Fall for That? Did you happen to catch the ratings on that?
I was taking notes about what you were saying about it back there.
Well, off the record on that, please. It's officially... Well, I'm curious about these ratings because this is something, and I work in television now as a producer. I've seen both sides of it, and everyone's obsessed with these Nielsen ratings,
Right.
the boxes.
Right.
But from what I've heard, from what my EP tells me, it's like these boxes are so specialized. Which boxes are on, who's watching, how accurate and reliable are the Nielsen ratings anymore?
It's
a big question.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the fair way to say this. I mean, it's 25,000 homes, right? It's only 25,000 homes that are telling us the ratings. But because every network and every advertiser agrees to believe the numbers, everybody's in on it together. So if they're wrong, at least everybody believes they're right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they must be directionally right. Because if they're wrong, well, at least they're directionally accurate, right? If 10 of the 25,000 are watching, CNN and 15 are watching Fox News, then at least it's directionally right. But I have a feeling that I'm just guessing here. I think the Nielsen ratings undercount everything. NCIS gets 20 million viewers according to Nielsen. That's the biggest show on TV.
20 million.
Only 20 million? This is a nation of 300 million people.
Right.
I have a feeling more than 20 million are seeing the show, but Nielsen doesn't measure it all. And that drives the networks crazy.
Right.
I mean, the most valuable viewers are the viewers that Nielsen doesn't count. They're young people who aren't watching the way Nielsen wants us to watch.
Yeah, don't even
so that's a problem that just gets bigger and bigger and then gives me great stories to write about.
Yeah. There's that constant debate between Netflix and the streaming model
Right.
versus we're in this transition.
Well, look what happened to
stage.
Breaking Bad.
Right.
The second to last episode gets 7 million viewers live on Sunday night. Amazing, great number. And then the last episode jumps to 10 million. Where were those extra 3 million viewers coming from? I think they were coming from Netflix. They had caught up, and now they had to watch live.
Now they had to watch it.
But still, 10 million, it feels low to me.
Well, what's crazy was people talk about these shows. It's like the zeitgeist. I mean, it takes
Right.
over pop culture.
Right.
Mad Men, but then you look at the
Right.
numbers. Mad Men only has 2 million viewers.
Well, it's because we want to all gather around the same campfire. I think we as primitive species want to gather around the same campfire and talk about something, even though we live in this world where it's all fracturing into a million little pieces, right?
Yeah.
So Breaking Bad is the closest thing we have to the campfire, or the Super Bowl is really the closest thing we have to the campfire.
We'll need our own campfire, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.